So I've got a perfect recipe for this weekend, meat and potatoes. Two best friends. This is a match made in heaven. This knockout rack of lamb with a feisty pistachio and parsley crust, served with a luxurious potato al forno, is as big on flavour as it is easy to cook. First up, the potato dish. Let's start with that. Into a large pan, pour 600 millilitres of milk and 400 millilitres of double cream. Then throw in 3 or 4 bay leaves, a couple of sprigs of rosemary, a pinch of pepper and salt, and 6 anchovy fillets. It will give you the most incredible depth of flavour that you won't want to be without. Grate in half a nutmeg. Then you want to add 8 cloves of garlic. Yes, you heard it right. 8 cloves of garlic. Pongy, gorgeous garlic. This is the dish to do it, guys. Bring it to a light simmer on a medium heat while you finely slice a kilo of potatoes. This potato dish is one of my favourite potato dishes ever. Next, slice up 2 bulbs of fennel and 2 onions. So let's have a little look at that. We don't want to just boil and boil and boil it. It's an infusion, just to get the party started. Fish out the rosemary and the bay leaves. Grate in about 50 grams of parmesan, then add the potatoes, fennel and onions to the pan. And even if it's a bit messy, it's okay. Mix it all together, then pack it down. I'm just going to do a nice final layer of potatoes on top. There's no reason to do this other than it just kind of looks cute. Cover with tin foil and then whack it in the oven and bake at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for an initial half an hour. Next, the lamb. 1 rack feeds 2 people. Rack of lamb. It is the prime cut on the whole animal. Absolutely beautiful. Ask your butcher for a French-trimmed rack of lamb with the cap meat removed and the sinews trimmed off. But if you get one that's still got a top layer of fat, it's easy to trim that off yourself. I want this rack of lamb to be so tender, so melt in your mouth, nothing should get in the way of it, right? Because we're going to put a lovely crust on top of here. And I don't want to chew on anything. I want it to be tender, tender, tender. Put a little olive oil and butter into a hot pan. Season the lamb with salt and pepper and sear for a few minutes. The rack of lamb is seared golden, but it's completely raw inside. And then what I want to do is the most unbelievable crust. Into a food processor, drop 100 grams of pistachios with a bunch of flat leaf parsley. Tear in 75 grams of bread, 2 cloves of garlic, and grate in half a nutmeg. Lid on and wazz it all up. While that's going, smear the lamb racks generously with Dijon mustard. Don't worry, it's going to mellow out in the cooking. It's going to really make this dish. Don't be stingy, because it sticks this crust together and it gives you the most incredible flavour. Pile the herby crumb onto the lamb and press down to form a crust. Meanwhile, take the foil off the spuds, give them another grate of parmesan on top if you fancy, and put them back into the oven and bake for a further 45 minutes. 10 minutes later, put the lamb into the same oven. It'll need 25 minutes to cook and 10 to rest, so the spuds and the meat will be ready at the same time. Right, little clean down, glass of wine, and then I'll show you how to serve it up. So the lamb has been out just resting, so all the juices can kind of go back to where they came from. It's looking beautiful. What I like to do is just put a rack, just like that, on a board and let people kind of slice their own at the table. Look at the colour. Really, really nice. And then from the oven, we want our potato and fennel al forno. Serve it sizzling, just like that. Garnish with fennel tops, then dish up with a side of green beans. Let's get in there with the lamb. And of course, the point of the lamb is with that sauce from the potatoes. Just tender. So good. Gorgeous pink lamb with a wonderful green crust, served with garlicky, fennel-y potato al forno. This is a proper little gem for the weekend.
The guys in the cafe are going to go nuts at that. Cheers. Enjoy.